The day we have been waiting for has finally arrived for the Commanders Replacement Squad series. We're in the Super Bowl, taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. They had a fairly decent year, 11-6, with a high-powered offense, a pretty good defense, and Trevor Lawrence just shy of 5,000 passing yards, 41 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. This offense, pretty good, mostly through the air. They're fourth in the league, second in points per game. However, their defense isn't as impactful, a little bit more middle of the road, with the 11th ranked points per game for defense, 16 for both passing yards and rushing yards allowed. So we could definitely try to abuse their defense. We just have to hope our defense comes ready to play, with guys like Shaka Toney leading the way. And as we get into this game, it will be the finale of at least how we're used to this series going. Obviously, Madden 24 is coming out really soon. I believe the 14th, I think, is the day that it comes out. So that is, what, a week away? So my plan is, obviously, we're going to play this one, and we're going to give it our best shot at winning. Obviously, it's a Super Bowl, so that's, you don't have to say that, but we're going to give it our all. But then after, we're going to go more in terms of kind of how the state-only challenges go, where it's primarily sim. We're going to go through a few years of that. So I'm looking forward to making that video. Hope you guys are as well. So make sure you subscribe, hit that bell notification, everything, so you're ready for when that video comes out. But it's time to get stuck in to the Super Bowl. It will be our high-flying offense taking the field first, as the Super Bowl is underway. Okay, apparently Fox is deciding to return this one. Decided to jump out of the end zone. Okay, well, interesting start. But going back to that high-flying offense, led by a generational quarterback whose rookie year didn't go extremely smoothly. But we know James Cody is that dude. And we also know that he has a great cast around him. Max Borghi, our running back since day one, has been phenomenal. Had a breakout chance earlier on in the postseason, becoming a star dev. Something that we tried to get him, to earlier on, but just quite weren't able to. Had some opportunities, but in basically the finale season, again, like how we're used to, Borghi has got the job done. Also bringing in Julio Jones this year was I wouldn't say late addition, but wasn't early on by any means. He's had a phenomenal postseason too, as Cody is showing off that 98 speed, almost outrunning the entire defense. Probably his longest run of the season, 55 yards, sets us up down at the 4. He has struggled with his stamina and fatigue building throughout this season, but he said prior to this game, he's feeling the best he's felt in a while, and Turbin will capitalize off on a great run from his quarterback. He's been the goal line dude this season. Fitting he gets the touchdown first. But the Jaguars, however, also have some dudes. I mean, just look at this offense. Superstars and X Factors everywhere. As I go outside, Mullen Jr. knocks it away. But our defense definitely has a lot in front of them to try to stop his. Shaka Toney was back there. Bad angle from the safety will be a first down. ETN Jr. Was almost a loss of about 3 or 4 on the play, but Shaka just not able to get a good angle. Shed the block pretty quickly, but just couldn't quite capitalize. Nice knockout there from Harris. He too has had a phenomenal season this year. Ever since getting that starting spot over Cashman, has just not looked bad. Has been super impressive. A decent pass there across the middle. We'll find number 7. First completion of the day for Lawrence. And on 3rd and 2, they come out empty set. We'll bring the quick blitz. Great play there from Lawrence. We'll get the ball out with the first down to number 7. Now, is that Ingram? No, a different Jones. Zay Jones? Yes, it is Zay Jones. will be difficult to get a consistent pass rush here against the Jaguars. Again, Lawrence, a really good quarterback in this universe, has a lot of receiving talent around him. So if they're going to continue with this quick passing as they go to Ridley, it is going to mean we're going to have to send some more unique blitzes as we send Johnson down from that safety spot, try to bring him on a blitz, and it works! Harris gets the interception, just the pass slightly off from Lawrence. And both the offense and defensive drives end spectacularly. So Cody will lead the offense back on out, starting at about the 42. Once again, we'll start the drive off with Borghi, who breaks to the left-hand side and will pick up a nice chunk there, fighting through Hamilton. Definitely want to make sure we get some deep passes going a little bit. Julio has been fantastic there this postseason, but we also have Justin Ross, who's been just as good, but we're going Osborne's way as he almost grabbed it, but it gets knocked out in double coverage. Now, unfortunately, if he did get the catch, wouldn't have mattered either way as Billy Price had the holding. So on 2nd and 4, or 14, would have been a 3rd and 4 actually. Either way, we have some down and distance we need to make up here. Osborne with another drop. That one would have been at least close to the first down. Need to tighten things up a little bit here. 3rd and long. As we're going to try to scramble by some time, we have Osborne open this time, not going to drop it. Does get the first down, setting us up at the 44 into plus territory. Again, this defense not as good as their offense, but they are 2nd in the league in sacks, so we'll see how well our offensive line can come to play today as Borghi gets 5 yards, averaging just over 5 yards on his 3 carries. Small sample size, but still worth noting. 2nd and 5. Gonna have Julio lofted up, dropping it in at the 8. That connection has just been fantastic. Cody can just drop them in anywhere down the field. However, Jacksonville's going to challenge, and it pretty much just looks like it's going to be a easy explanation here. I mean, that catch was 100%, both feet inbounds, well ahead of stepping out. He already has the ball there, so there's 2 feet down. Maybe the 3rd one not, but you just need the 2. So it'll be a pretty easily blown timeout there for the Jaguars, I guess. Allows their defense to catch their breath as we're at the 8. A little over 2 minutes. Did not want to keep that ball, but Cody will, manage it. Now on 2nd and goal, let's not have any mistakes. As Julio, let's shorten that route a little bit. Want him to go to that back pylon. Although they drop coverage there, we're going to have Borghi sliding down with the touchdown grab, and the handstand will be a 2-touchdown lead here in the Super Bowl. Well, Shane Falco has this offense all hyped up and ready to go, and he talked to the reporters before this game and told them how important it was, as obviously his last big game did not go all too well, talking about that bowl game back in his college career. But what also hasn't gone all too well is Lawrence so far. This offense for the Jaguars not going as smoothly as probably they were hoping. So as they get started here on their 2nd drive, looking to improve upon it. They did have some things moving fairly decently well. I mean, the quick passing game was working. It was just the slightest mistake, slight error on the throw as a flag comes in. And talking of errors, we'll back them up with the holding. But as we were saying, the slight error, the slight inaccuracy on the last drive from Lawrence caused what could have been a completion turned out to be an interception as Mullen almost gets one of his own, slightly underthrown. So definitely not the cleanest start for Lawrence today as they'll come out empty on 3rd and 17. We're going to stick with our nickel formation. Shaka Toney not getting back there, and a quick stop on Zay Jones. Henderson with a suplex. This time defense forces the punt, and we should be taking over a pretty good field position. Well, so far this offense has had 2 possessions, both of which ending in the end zone. Big thanks to James Cody, but also, I mean, good play all the way around. And that good play will see us into the 2nd quarter with a 2-possession lead. Current score 14-0. Now as we do get that 2nd quarter underway, coming out in pistol, 2-receiver spread either side, Bo Melton. He's going to come in motion, take the jet sweep to the outside. Not great blocking out there, but he shakes first tackler and will maybe pick up a small handful. With a 3rd and 6, 2 spread to the left, 1 to the right, sticking in that pistol look. Receivers not really getting open. Cody tried to step up, but slammed down by Hamilton. Will be the Jaguars' first stop on defense. And we'll see if the Jaguars can capitalize on that possible momentum builder. Finally getting a stop as they send one of their receivers in motion, fake the jet sweep, fake the handoff, pass downfield, caught Ridley into plus territory. A nice chunk play on first down. Gets him all the way down to the 45. Henderson, who's been fantastic this postseason, just about a step and a half behind there from at least knocking the ball away, and another mistake for the Jaguars O-line. These little mistakes early on can definitely eat away at any sort of momentum that they try to build. Be a 1st and 15. They pick up all the blocks really well, find Ingram for the first down to the 34, picking up the first down in the process. And if you could bounce back from penalties like that and that quickly on top of it, I think you actually will be just fine. Will be another pass here, intended for Etienne, knocked out by Davis Gaither. Now Lawrence is in his X factor despite only having, I think, 3 completions or maybe 4 on the day. As I go back to Ingram, we'll get another short catch, picking up about half the yardage needed. And they definitely like going empty on 3rd and medium, 3rd and short. We're going to come out with a double A gap look here. Going to bring Johnson off the edge, picked up well, but forces a quick throw that is not caught in bounds. Zay Jones did not get his feet down, and Mahdi forced him out, so 4th and 4. But to try to get at least some points on the board here, it will be a field goal attempt from the 35, make it a 45-yarder. And it's right down the middle. Jaguars puts them on the board, make it 14-3, thanks to the McLaughlin field goal. Now as the Commanders retake the field on offense, they've had 2 really good possessions. Their last possession, however, did not go very well. As Cody's looking to scramble here, he'll get by one guy, trying to get to the outside, and he will scamper out of bounds at the 37. Another massive run for Cody, already 87 yards on the day. And he definitely has his sideline hyped up as we have a 1st and 10 down at that 37. Right down the middle, Borghi will pick up a few yards. Now we'll switch it up a little bit, coming out with a bunch to that left-hand side. Ross alone to the right. A single high safety for the Jaguars. As Cody looking to scramble, will find Julio, his first catch of the Super Bowl. First down to the 22. In the NFC Conference Championship, Julio had 3 touchdowns in the first half alone. Then the whole starting side was subbed out. A great catch there from the sophomore tight end and Alton Campbell. There was quite a lot of shade thrown his way this season, but that was a heck of a grab, setting him up inside the 10. 1st and goal. Sticking with that bunch look. RPO Borghi into the end zone. You know we had to get a Borghi touchdown in this game. He's been phenomenal for us this whole season. The quiet captain, if you will. Now Etienne and their head coach really trying to get their offense going here. Try to motivate them as they are now down 3 possessions. There's 3 minutes left before halftime. They need to find a score. And with Lawrence leading them out there for a 3-minute drive, can they find the success they need? They'll start with a tight shotgun look, dump it off. Zay breaks a tackle, does get the first down, barely, but it's all they need. We'll say they haven't been fantastic at spreading the ball around, more so just sending Zay Jones to various different amounts of spots on the field. He's played on the outside, played in the slot, the left, the right. And it seems like anytime they don't go to him, they go to Etienne. However, that does bring up the 2-minute warning. Due to the Jaguars' inopportune challenge earlier, only 2 timeouts remain for them. As that one bounces off the back of their tight end, almost picked off by Harris. But luckily for them, will safely hit the turf as they have a 3rd and 5. Empty look once again. Nice cut to the outside. It's going to be Christian Kirk. His first catch will barely edge out the first down, but not by much. As they will stick to a spread look. Harris comes rocketing in and will slam down Lawrence. As mentioned earlier, since getting that starting spot, he has really grown well. Pass to the outside, Ingram with his second grab, I believe, 3rd and 9. However, they're going to call a timeout beforehand. And they will come out, spread 3 to the right, 1 to the left, with a pass right down the middle, and the safety just whiffed entirely. That could have been a touchdown there for Kirk. Luckily, we had someone catch up to him. But one of the bigger plays for the Jaguars on the day is really just a fluke play for us, and a not good pass there from Lawrence. Maybe just threw off the timing. Now, besides the Harris sack, we really have struggled to get into the backfield, so hoping we could get at least one Shakatoni sack, and speak of it, it arrives, dropping Lawrence back at the 28. He'll have about 10 seconds left. Actually, make that no seconds left, as they do not properly use their last remaining timeout, so Shakatoni will send us into half. Now, it's been a pretty good half for us. Obviously, the offense rolling really well. James Cody attacking both through the air and on the ground. Defense has forced at least one turnover. We're getting some pass rush. Doing pretty well against the run as well. Only 22 yards for him. But it's really been James Cody today. He's finding every single option out there. And we're going to look for more of that as we do get the second half underway. Not much of a halftime show there at all for the Super Bowl. Madden maybe have something better? Madden 24? At least you would surely think. But the Jaguars offense, who've only managed 3 points so far today, will start us off. So we talked about at the beginning of this matchup how it was going to be a big day for our defense and trying to make sure we get all the stops necessary. As a little bit of sloppy tackling, but Mike Dana with a diving tackle will save the first down. But at least to this point, defense, they've been solid. Again, only allowing 3 points, 22 passing yards. However, a really bad attempt there as Amadi just gets blown by Christian Kirk as he takes it to the house. Great play for the Jaguars to open up this second half. They needed a touchdown desperately, and it looks like their sideline is back alive. Unfortunately for Amadi, just got stuck on the press inside coverage. And that switch route from Kirk, he stood no chance. Now, Cody in the offense, heading back out. Let's just mellow things down a little bit and destroy whatever confidence now the Jaguars have. And it's not like we're really doing anything new. We're sticking with the same plays we always run. Because we are going to make an audible to start off. We're not going to go James Cody's way. Instead, toss this one deep. Ross can't quite get the grab. But more importantly, keeps the ball away from Campbell. So nothing on first down there, but nice to take a shot occasionally. Borghi will get a little bit there on second down. Could have been a little bit more, but Autry with a nice diving tackle will keep it at 3rd and 6. Hard count, no one jumps. As we're going to have Campbell right across the middle. And that turned, no, they do not give us the first down. They say 4th and inches. While I do not agree with that spot, and clearly looks like the ball is past the line to gain, we have a fullback on roster. So let's hand it off to him. Bodden will pick up the first down and about an extra 2 yards. And apparently, I wanted to go right back to it because I hit the A button this way too quickly. So Bodden once again on first down will pick up another 2. Now what I would love would be a nice, slow, methodical offensive drive to really just drain the momentum of the Jaguars as that pass again dropped in beautifully. However, Campbell was not able to bring it in. A great play there made from, I think it was the corner perhaps? Either way, a great knockout will force a 3rd and 8 as pass rush is working back there. Cody trying to scramble. Will he get the first down here with the juke? He definitely is. Cody with 2 yards shy of 100 on the day. We hadn't seen a whole lot of scrambling from Cody for a majority of the second half of the season. Was something we kind of worked out of the playbook due to the stamina and fatigue issues. But it's come alive here in the postseason as Borghi breaks off a nice catch and a run on the halfback screen. First down at the 37. Definitely have gotten him more involved in the passing game during the postseason. As we'll swing this one to the outside. Osborne kind of gets stuck on one of his own blockers. I believe it was Ross, but does manage 4. Now on 2nd and 6, going to isolate Julio to this right-hand side. Borghi also going out to that right-hand side, but I was wanting to go Julio, but Borghi found the space, and once again, Cody, with a man running right at his face, just drops it in. That's just the generational talent of Cody coming through. Great catch there from Borghi as well. Don't want to take away from that. Now, can we just shorten the route here a little bit from Jones? Maybe find a little bit of a soft spot. If we threw that earlier on, perhaps. Instead, let's throw it down for Ross. And Justin Ross has himself a Super Bowl reception for a touchdown. He's had himself rather an up and down career here, at least in this series, where he's been phenomenal at some points and kind of disappears for a little bit, but he's always been pretty reliable for us. But it's the Jaguars who need to find that reliability, and Christian Kirk started to make things happen. Last drive, obviously with a big touchdown catch, definitely helped out. But I'm pretty sure about all 3 of those catches were from the last drive as Etienne breaks off his probably best run of the day. Makes his average 10 yards, but it's only had 4 carries to this point. So up until then, we've really done a fantastic job of just keeping the running game just out of this game in its entirety. As they go right back to it, and Davis Gaither just forgot to tackle. Luckily, Mullen comes flying in to get the tackle, but down to the 33. So the Jaguars definitely moving here, feeling the pressure as they're down 18 points late on in the third quarter. Will be another pass with a wide open guy. There's Kirk with a first down inside the 15. Jaguars offense starting to come alive here. I mean, it's what we expected from them. They have a really well-built offense with a lot of high-powered talent. Etienne gonna get stuffed as Cashman meets him at the line. Nice splash play from him. He was such a strong playmaker for us last season. Unfortunately this year, due to some regression, just, wasn't as good, wasn't as reliable. Harris stepped in well as Cashman with a big hit. He's like, keep talking about me, stop talking about Harris. But on 3rd and 4, Cashman will head off the field as we come out with the double A gap nickel with a wide open Zay Jones in the backfield. Or back of the end zone, not backfield. Blown coverage there just as I blew the call. But we have Cody at the sideline getting his offense ready to go. With just over a quarter left, we need to see some good play to, well, win this game. So as I was looking for the last drive, slow, methodical, that's what we want here. Just play our game. And that largely includes just handing the ball off to Borghi right down the middle. Though we do like to get the ball out in a couple other different ways, as like an RPO, pop it over the top, Osborne with the catch, sending us into the 4th quarter and up to about midfield. 28-17, Jaguars had their best quarter in the 3rd. We need to have our best in the 4th. And there's no better way to start that than with an X-Factor quarterback. A little bit of some RPO. Or not RPO, but play action. More aptly so, as we toss this one out. Ross with a nice catch and run down to the 30. Haven't been able to go Julio's way all too often, but still, he's been phenomenal for us this postseason. And would love to send him out on top, as I'm sure he will retire after this game. We brought in the 35-year-old about midway through the season just because our receiving core just was struggling. Outside of Osborne, we really weren't finding much luck, and then after bringing in Julio, really gave a spark to that group. Even saw better play from Ross, and very much allowed Osborne to stick to that slot spot, which he works beautifully in. Now on 3rd and 3 here, they cover everything really well. Cody trying to find some space, will eventually throw it away, but Allen lays Cody out late. An absolute bonehead play gives us a free first down at the 11. We're going to settle for the field goal now. We have a chance. Maybe go Julio, back corner, dropping it in, and Julio will have his Super Bowl touchdown. Make it 35-17 as long as this one counts. We'll take another look just to make sure, but once again, Cody dropping that one in beautifully. The toe taps from Julio. This is the cherry on top. And confirmation comes in from the booth. A fantastic throw and catch there from Cody to Julio. And now all the pressure lies on the shoulders of Trevor Lawrence. Can he get them down the field quickly? So as they head out, it will be a spread look. Lawrence alone in the backfield, empty, with 3 to the right, or 3 to the left, wow, 2 to the right, and they're gonna have Ingram right down the middle. Big hit comes in from Woods, but the damage is done to the 42. Just found the soft spot in the zone there, and that was the play they needed, and a great start for their possession here. Again, needing 3 touchdowns, about 5.5 minutes on the board as Davis Gaither with the diving intercept, not even diving, jumping, athletic interception might have just sealed this game up. Our offense can head back out onto the field, and I'm sure we're going to see a good bit of this running back group. If I'm not mistaken, only 1 rush for Turbin today, though it was about a 4 or 5 yard touchdown. We'll send him out there, and he'll pick up about another 4 or 5. That's indeed exactly what both of his rushes were. Unfortunately for Lawrence, I'm sure that interception going to weigh heavily on him. He's had 2 today, and honestly, they haven't all really been his fault. Just some fantastic play from our linebacker group as Alton Campbell picks up the first down here for us. And as mentioned towards the top, this defensive line for the Jaguars has been really good at getting sacks this year. They rank 2nd in the league, but today they've only managed 1 as we dump this one off for Turbin. So big shout out to our offense and defensive coordinators. They came up with a fantastic game plan to really just take out anything good that this team, the Jaguars, could do, as Justin Ross with a very, very patient jet sweep picks up the first down to the 21. Now, I didn't mention seeing a good rotation of this running back group, and we've primarily gone with passes or receiver plays. So let's go back to the running back group here as Turbin tries to break to the outside. He is not going to get by Allen. Will be a loss of 4. However, we still have the ball down to the 25. Just over 2 minutes left as we go right back to Turbin, this time plowing through the middle. Picks up about 10 yards, bringing up 3rd and 6. And that brings our offensive total to 484 yards on the day. We were 22nd in the league. Though with the performance we've seen today, very much would not seem to be the case. As we set up the halfback screen here, Turbin does get the catch, but we do not get anyone in front of Muma, and he will get the quick stop. So we will send out Dicker the kicker from the 24. Just over a minute left in this one. We'll see the Jaguars one more time offensively, but it's really just for maybe contract negotiations because there is no coming back. So we'll see if Lawrence and anyone else on this Jaguars offense just wants to pad their stats, as it will be a pass, finding Ingram. He's kind of been the main guy for him, I feel like, this second half. Though, for the entirety of the game, it's really just been Zay Jones or Ingram, as they go right back to Ingram, who will get the grab. Clock ticking, and they're definitely not calling any timeout, so they're just going to get what they could get, and that'll be it. Though they are at least trying to get some yards there. Etienne with a harsh cut sends the defender flying, and I believe a potential flag has come in. And unfortunately for the Jags, it will back them up. They've had issues along the offensive line today with penalties. I believe that's their 4th, perhaps, as Amadi goes on the blitz, not going to get by the offensive lineman, but the defense does very well, forces the throwaway. And we maybe have time for about 2-3 plays, depending on stoppage of time, as it's going to be a nice, gentlemanly play there from Shaka Toney. Had the kill shot lined up there on Lawrence, and instead he let him throw the ball away. 3rd and 14. Double A gap blitz once again. However, not quite working out all too well, at least originally, and a very close battle there. Henderson just able to knock that one away from Ridley, who almost made a fantastic grab. And on 4th and 14, they do line up in a heavy set, lofting it up, knocked away by Mullen, but a flag is in. And it would seem like the ref made a bet on the over-under of this match, so throws the flag for the DPI. We'll have at least one more play, with it being a check down to Ingram. And actually we'll have one more. They call the timeout with 5 seconds left, calling the Hail Mary from the 21. And there will be a quick throw. Knocked down. How about one more play? For the final bit of real-time watching in this series. The Commanders do get the stop. Harris with the tackle. Jaguars get it to Ingram. But with only 17 points, they lose to our Commanders replacement squad. 38-17. The series finale-ish comes full circle. This series started with us completely dismantling the Washington Commanders, the forced sell of the team from Dan Snyder and the legendary coach in Jimmy McGinty buying the team, bringing in Shane Falco to be our head coach. There was a lot of trials and tribulations. We could only bring in low overall players originally, 65 or less. And each year we got a little bit better. Certain players progressed throughout the series. Main one on offense, Max Borghi. Main one on defense, Shaka Toney. But we brought in a bunch of different guys throughout the series. And at the culmination of this season, with our rookie quarterback James Cody being lights out, 239 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, but also a little over 100 rushing yards, earns the NFL Super Bowl MVP. Our generational quarterback was a very sought-after pick, had to trade up to the 2nd overall pick when we did not have anywhere close to that. But he, as well as Osborne, Shaka Toney, Davis, Gaither. We also have, obviously, our head coach up there in Shane Falco. But that will wrap us up for this series, at least in the manner of which we have gone about it. We will be going into a sim-based up until the release of Madden 24 and we start a new franchise. So make sure you guys are sticking around so you don't miss out on how we wrap up this series. It will be multi-year sim, so we can kind of get a more full experience, see how like James Cody, a generational quarterback, continues his career. So make sure you subscribe, bear icon in the bottom right, or scroll down, hit the actual subscription button, and tick the bell icon so you're notified of when these videos go live. But before we leave, let's take a look at the yearly awards, and we definitely had some guys in the running, though some of these did not go quite in the manner which I expected. Like the NFL MVP going to Hugh Kenny, none of our guys were in the running. Coach of the Year goes to the Jaguars coach in Gaio. As for us, Shane Falco down at 3. In the NFC, Offensive Player of the Year goes to Chris Godwin. Shaka Toney, though, does win Defensive Player of the Year, one of his awards. Ben Riles, Offensive Rookie of the Year, with Cody way down here at 5. Defensive Rookie goes to Rashad Mayweather, with Best Quarterback going to Riles. We did not even have James Cody in the running here, which is massive disrespect. Best running back goes to Saquon Barkley, no Max Borghi. Best receiver, Chris Godwin. None of our receivers got on the list, but we did show up well in the voting for best O-line. Kevin Dodson won it, but the rookie and Bobby Murphy was 2nd. We also had Andre James, our center, at 5, and Billy Price, our right guard, at 8. Going back to Shaka Toney, he also wins Best Defensive Line. Best linebacker goes to Zadarius Smith. Did not have either of our guys, Davis Gaither or Harris, in the running. And Jalen Ramsey wins Best DB, with Young Hoku winning Best Kicker. Dicker the Kicker down at 5. But as we wrap up this episode and this portion of the series, let's at least go over to the adjust lineup screen and give a shout out to some of the guys that have been with us since the beginning. At quarterback, we have Jack Cohn. Was a fan favorite for sure, but you know, it just didn't quite have what we needed to further on the series. So we eventually brought in Tyler Huntley, and he played fairly well, but could not go wrong except for all the interceptions. With the generational quarterback here of James Cody, phenomenal, and we'll definitely kind of, I feel like, angle the Sim series portion of this around him and how he finishes his career. We'll also be keeping tabs on Max Borghi, who has worked his way up from, I believe, like a 63, 64 overall up to a 79-star dev. We had a good full group here at the running backs with Turbin and Hales, though the main guy, Borgie all the way. As for receivers, no one stuck around from the very beginning, but we did have Manny Fox, who was in our first draft class, and he was more so a special teams player for us late on. With the additions of Justin Ross, Osborne killed it for us, and Julio Jones, as mentioned during the games, fantastic for us since bringing him in. Bill Melton also was really solid for us. Now, a little bit of a letdown was Alton Campbell. His rookie year, he really made us think he might be a dude to build around. This year, he didn't really have as good of a season. Shout out, though, to Brock Wright, who has been with us since the very beginning. And I would have liked to get Ruckert a little bit more involved, but we stuck with Campbell. Maybe we'll focus more on Ruckert in the sim portion of this series. As for the offensive line, Wes Martin was with us since the start. He became more of a backup. Terrell Crosby was with us for a little bit. Billy Price for 2 years, phenomenal player for us, but Bobby Murphy, the rookie, absolutely showed up. Defensively, though, and probably the biggest star of the original group, Shaka Toney, all the way up to a superstar 85 overall player. Massive. Do want to give a shout out, though, to Benning Batoe, has been with us for every single season, I'm pretty sure. And, you know, maybe wasn't the guy for us, but every time we gave him the shot, he showed up for us. Amadi, pretty solid for us at slot the last 2 years. And Mullen and Henderson really showed up for us this season. Woods wasn't fantastic for us. Melifonwu wasn't really fantastic for us. Cashman was great for us for about a year and a half. And Tanner Muse and Gemmel have been with us since the very beginning, though as the series went along, they kind of lost their starting spots. Davis Gaither, fantastic season. Harris, fantastic season. And Johnson, been with us for at least 2 seasons, has grown very well up to a 76. So massive props to this Commanders replacement squad series. It was a seriously fun challenge, trying to build them up, and very fitting for the last full episode to be the Super Bowl win. Though it is not done, we have a little bit of time before Madden 24 drops, so we will do some sim-based series off of that. Again, very similar to the state-only challenges, which we also need to try to wrap up the Louisiana one before Madden 24 drops. So a lot of series coming to an end right now with FIFA 23 on Tuesdays and Fridays, currently doing the My Player Career. I've talked about turning that one into a create a club and then going from there, but with Madden 24 coming out, I think I want to focus more on the Madden at the beginning. Not saying FIFA's done on the channel. We'll always have multiple sports games. If optimally, I would like to have 4 videos a week be Madden and then 2 videos a week being either FIFA, MLB The Show, maybe even some NHL mixed in there. I think like a rotation would be cool, just sticking with like my players there. You can let me know what you guys think, but still a lot of content coming your way. So again, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell icon. But that will do it for us here in the Commanders Replacement Squad series. We'll be back with the sim next time. So until then, see you guys later. Bye.